Hello, I'm Asif Farouk of Finextra, and today I'm with Paul Sheedy of Reward Technology. So Paul, thank you for joining me.
Pleasure, thank you.
How much do you think the consumer should be involved in that payment experience?
Well,
or the whole retail experience,
My view is they shouldn't be involved in it at all. It should be a seamless process which happens behind the scenes. There shouldn't be a need for a consumer to have to get involved in settings, in moving anything different to how they behave already.
Right.
Yeah.
And when it comes to cards, loyalty cards, schemes of that sort, there's a debate between the open and closed loop. People have opinions on either side.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
So our view is that if we take the grocery side of loyalty, that really what we should be doing is having a closed loop system there, whereby the retailer and their FMCG suppliers have a system in place where they can look at what are the best offers for each of the segments of customers. So as you walk in, you get very, very individualized offerings. Now our solution really is a closed loop solution inside grocery retailing. Inside the mall proposition, we're opening it up to all of the retail units in there. So very simply what we're doing is we are moving outside of the mobile ecosystem. We're not looking at the mobile phone being where you actually start this process. We're looking at the loyalty card itself being the trigger to how the retailer knows you've entered a store, and from that point, what should happen in terms of the offers that should go to that customer. The reason we've reverse engineered this to how really we see everybody else going is when we look globally, and we have had a lot of global experience, the majority of the best shopper stores tend to be middle-aged women, and with middle-aged women, statistically, they have a lower penetration on smartphones. And their willingness and ability and need to have an app of a retailer where they actually go there is very, very low. So we have seen that there is rarely more than 2 or 3% of shoppers where you actually have them in the right ecosystem for that to happen. Yeah. So we've embedded a technology inside the loyalty card which triggers that person has walked in. We go back behind the scenes, we look at the data and we decide what is the right offer for this person. And then seamlessly we deliver to every single mobile phone that's ever been invented. And we feel that's the way to actually be able to deliver a digital solution where you can remove paper from the equation now.
That's interesting that while other companies may be focusing mobile first, it seems you're going the other way around.
Well, I think it is mobile first. I mean, we're certainly dealing globally, so we've got talks going on from Peru to South Africa to out to the Far East. But what we do see is that when you statistically look behind the main headline figure, which might be that X% of people have a smartphone, you know, what people forget is that 80% of people in the world are on top-ups. They're not on contracts, and they buy their data, or they don't buy the data in many cases. So in Thailand and China, for example, we see very, very low rates of data purchase. So you can't look at just the headline of X% have a smartphone. You have to look at how many have a data package. But then the question is, how many pages of apps do you want of retailers? And the situation is, even if you look at Tesco, Sainsbury's, they have less than 10% of people on an app. Because really, if you walk into a bricks and mortar store, you have got no real reason to have an app running on your mobile phone. So we're looking at this very differently. We're looking at this from a context of where previously we analyze 80 million customers every week, and we know statistically what works and we know statistically what doesn't work.
So I think you might have answered this already, but why do you think a killer loyalty technology hasn't hit the mainstream market?
Well, I mean, as I mentioned, I mean, if you look at ASOS, that's a pure play online retailer, so therefore you have to have the app. That goes without saying. If you do your shopping in a bricks and mortar store, you have to ask yourself, why do I have an app running for a retailer where I actually physically go there to do my shopping? And there is little or no motivation to do that. And then, you know, quite frankly, it's down to psychological reasons. And if you're walking into a store, let's take a Sainsbury's or a Tesco, you're actually thinking, do I need a trolley or do I need a basket? Because you've already made the decision how many items you're buying. You're not thinking, oh, let me turn my app on, let me sign into your Wi-Fi, let me make sure my Bluetooth is enabled, etc., etc. People are not there, and maybe they will, but maybe they won't. So what we're saying to retailers now is, look, we'll build you a bridge, a digital bridge, where all of your customers, no matter what phone they have, no matter how tech-savvy they may or may not be, we will deliver exactly the right seamless digital communications to those customers at the point that they walk into the store, in which case you can then try and not manipulate, we can try and push them towards the best offers in the store on that day. Our view is that as technology moves on, and if in 6 months' time people want their offers through Twitter, well then we simply open that lane up on that bridge and we deliver the offers through Twitter. Right now, we need to deliver a bridge which offers the retailer a long-term solution and does not restrict them as to the next fad, because retailers do not want to know about the next fad. They want to know about what is my backbone here, what is going to work long term.
So RFID is not the next fad?
RFID, it depends what sort of RFID. I mean, we know our RFID inside out and backwards here, and certainly we work on many platforms from NFC combined with UHF solutions. RFID, in terms of NFC, the short range RFID, we don't believe is really the one. We've gone for a much longer range. We've gone for one where actually we will detect your loyalty card inside your wallet from anything up to 20, 30, 40 feet. And it's actually just knowing your presence in a mall is what triggers us to make a decision about what are we going to send this particular customer.